Hey, everybody, this is Justin from Sorcerer,
And Christian,
and you guys are listening to and watching Heavy
heavy
Metal
metal.
Horror.
Yeah, if there's any kind of remind me of Carcass in a lot of ways too. Some of those
Right,
real
yeah.
melodic parts.
Right. I feel like Carcass, bands like Carcass and like Cynic are too like they're way more tech than Ex Mortis knows how to not start throwing math equations at you. You know, like they
Yeah,
keep it
right.
interesting with the melody. Um, but yeah, there is that technicality, obviously. You
Yeah.
know, like I said, I think
That really
the
jumped
best,
out at me.
I think the best description is, it's just Yngwie with the death metal vocalist. If he had death
That
metal.
is a good, that is a good description.
They used to play I Am a Viking. I'm pretty sure they covered that.
Oh,
a few
nice.
times.
We're talking about Ex Mortis here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I was thinking it had a lot of that European power metal, like Halloween kind of, not the guitar necessarily,
Halloween,
but
yeah.
the speed, the intensity. It was just kind of
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
they're and like I said, he's always had fantastic musicians with him. And has improved the band over the years too. I mean, they're even more, technical than they used to be, like than they were on in Hatred's Flame and such. So
Yeah, I dig them, man. Like this is the kind of stuff I listen to when I'm making like D&D adventures back in high
Yeah,
school.
absolutely.
Like, this is perfect background music.
because in all honesty too, like the theme is mostly Lord of the Rings. Like
Right. A lot of fantasy
so
stuff.
there's a lot of
A lot of
fantasy.
heroic
Yeah.
sword and sorcery type thing. Which,
Right.
We're a sucker for that stuff. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
that's always
Absolutely.
that's always gonna be cool.
Yeah. Chop Top's not going to be here today, at least for the 4 o'clock one. He's recovering from COVID, so
Okay.
Oh yeah, been there.
yeah, he's just resting, but he'll be there at 7. Because it's his show.
Yeah, I
Right.
just got over mine. What 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna be
gotta-
jumping out too. Like if you guys want to keep filming, if it extends past an hour, I'm gonna bounce at the hour mark, probably bounce at 5. But don't shut the show down if it's still going on behalf of me. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
bye, love you,
Okay.
and then head out.
Yeah, you got I think one more with us. I think.
No,
I
I
know.
think it's two
Well, two
more
more?
because
Okay.
Craig did reschedule. I think
Oh,
his
right.
reschedules in September, and I'll be on if Dave wants to come on and do the Acid Witch Halloween special.
Yeah, I'd love that. I asked him about it. And he said he'd let me know like after their tour, but I know things get a little crazy and
Yeah, no, I'll
No.
keep on him. Just a yes or no is fine.
yeah,
like,
and
as
we
long as I
also
know.
want to bring back Midnight. And they could be in their hoods and everything. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, they can do it at the studio. The studio's set up for something like this, so he could totally do that. It's just a matter of wrangling them in.
Oh, Mark, I got a whole bunch of new products at the candy store
Course.
in
Oh.
Michigan.
Ah,
Yes, I got.
Products like these
excellent.
illicit
No,
products.
I got lots
Nice.
of the gummies.
Oh, you went to
and
Loom? That's
Loom.
the first time. Yeah, Loom's a
Yeah.
good one.
And then I got tons of the vape stuff. Like
Really?
6 different vapes, 5 different vapes, and 4 different
Yeah,
gummies.
look at us with our illicits.
I know.
You guys
I think what you're gonna really like about
showing it on a recorded program. Look,
That's
that's
okay.
bold, man. Look at you.
They,
Children watch this.
Rebels. This is for
they
children.
My grandmother watches
It's a
these.
family program.
they break it down. If you go on their website, they break it down by effect. So if you're
Perfect.
looking for a
Yeah.
specific effect, I think the one I've liked so far is Focus. It's a pretty
Yeah.
heavy sativa blend.
Fuck that
Um,
shit. That head high stuff freaks me the fuck out. The best is I'm not gonna drop any names because I don't want to name anybody, but we had a little get together over the weekend, and a friend of mine, a mutual friend of mine, well, I think that you would know him, Mr. Montag, but I'm sure you do. But I'm not gonna drop any names.
Oh, I got.
Let's keep him free. But gave him an edible, and I said, "Hey, buddy," I said, I only eat a quarter of these. Just let you know, I don't know how these compare to what you got on the rec side of things from Michigan. He ate half of it. I said, okay, fair enough. And then 15 minutes later, he said, I ate the other half. And I said,
Oh,
okay.
you're in for
And he
a
said
time.
about an hour later, he said he walked into my house and the entire room shifted to the right, like he was entering the multiverse. And it's been my favorite definition of that ever since. He entered the multiverse.
Yeah.
And I love
Just
I
slightly
love
to
it.
the right of
Well, that's-
reality.
Well, with the edibles, it's so different than with the smoking. The experience is so different. And I bought, I mean, I'm really enjoying this because it's not as intense, doesn't last as long, and I can control it, and the focus, I know, Mark, we were talking about that, what you were wanting, something
Yeah.
like focus. Then there's one I have yet to try, which maybe I'll try tonight. It's called Run or Move. You can be creative, and it's this heavy sativa blend.
Sativas are known
great.
for if you're going to get the, I mean, you can get a creative boost out of any type of
Right.
psychoactive thing, but sativas are known for stimulating creativity and also making you paranoid and anxious if you are susceptible to those things. Hello, I'm Vic Stone, the cannabis educator. That's what I do as my real-time job. So
on the
let me know if you need any information.
On the
Vic's Weed Hotline.
On the edibles, I can get like that for sure. The last time, the ones I got before, 10 milligrams, which is normally what I was eating, I got to cut those in half because 10 milligrams got me super fucked up for like 9 hours, and I didn't want to beat that, and that was with the time slips and the paranoia.
I don't know. Those ones you gave me did nothing. I ate the whole entire thing. It did.
I don't know what
nothing.
that's just crazy, man.
When you go,
I was really expecting something big.
When you go to a rec place, a place that's full rec, and you don't have access to the medical menu, the quality can slip. It's not, medical stuff's regulated, so the state has to like eyeball everything, which normally I'd be like, fuck the government, but in this sense it actually means it's quality control. So when you have your the medical side of things gives you
they do have that. Yeah, they do have the medical thing at Lume. Yeah. Well, I like Lume is all organic. There's no like chemicals in here. It's just
they're nice facilities.
I was taking today for some neuropathy I was having in my foot. That was really incredibly painful.
Which is probably a death metal band if you look it up on Google right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Painful your neuropathy.
Yeah. If you've never had that, you certainly don't want it. From a disc in my back, that was going bad. But
you've got pretty much everything that can be
I know,
got.
man. I know. I had to counterbalance all these good looks with some.
You're a walking medical case.
Just to dispel something to you, like every plant today is a hybrid. It's just
right. There are some that are more leaning toward.
They lean heavy in one direction. Or the other.
You can breed. My goal was I'm studying horticulture, teaching myself horticulture and botany, so I can breed my own, sativa strains. But that's down the road. But for now, I'm happy with the products at Lume, and it was 25% off day. So
nice. And that's one thing when you sit down and you have an avid weed smoker. They're like freaking scientists. They might be dumb as
no. They pretend to be scientists.
Is that what it is?
Oftentimes,
See,
oftentimes it's not.
So they're just talking shit.
Because I've had to learn this stuff. It's like, they throw out these names. They're like, oh yeah, man, they got some horse dong, some purple horse dong mambo. You're just like, you don't know what the fuck's in this, man. That's why I don't. If somebody's like, you want to hit, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what's in that. Like, I don't know what I'm dealing with. As you go on, you can go on Leafly and check out, all the products you're interested in and see, oftentimes which way they lean. You can get the terpenes in there, which are important to the overall thing. So, I mean, like, it's not hard to learn this stuff, but it's a lot of information and we're still kind of fresh to it still. So, avid weed smokers are oftentimes just like, yeah, bro. And then they just throw out these big names. They don't know what the fuck's in there. They don't know if it's an indica or sativa.
Well, I know. I did my research.
They fooled me.
Lume. I mean, this is quality product. The Lume, and each of these cartridges could have between, depending how you use it, 150 and 300 hits.
Yeah.
I was like, that's nothing. And it's pens, USB rechargeable. It's great. But no, I just like the variety of products because that's why I bought some.
They have a good showroom. They have a good
showroom. And it's all quality stuff, and they take their job seriously because there's a lot of competition out there. So, but they don't use like any chemicals in their spray. Like the first time I tried one of these was at my friend's house. First time I ever like inhaled, just like Clinton. And,
Oh, yeah.
I was just coughing and gagging. I have never tried since I got these. I have not coughed one time, and I'm still doing the inhaling. And so they said it's because there's no chemicals, there's no oils. It's just, it's just water, and it's like a distillation of the.
Yeah, I worked with a guy who like smoked one of those vape pens all day, every day at work. He would sneak over and take hits. He was always high. I mean, he was a good worker. He did his job. It was never a problem for what he did, but yeah, I almost had him get me a vape pen and some, some cartridges and stuff at that time. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest, but
well, sometime we'll have to try it,
Yeah. Some kind of edible that finally did something. It took about an hour, and it wasn't this got a little swimmy headed, and
okay.
I got the munchies. I did get the munchies.
Yeah,
later.
that's
like, I just felt like I could not eat enough, no matter. I just kept eating and eating. But it wasn't a real powerful.
Right. No, I think, and I think the move or the focus will be good because that's what you were wanting. You're wanting to keep focus and like you don't feel high or swimmy. And I thought I loved the way that felt.
Yeah, I think I do have an attention issue, a deficit. I mean, you remember when we were younger, Mark, I'd just check out at certain times we're doing stuff. You got real pissed at me that one time as we were setting up one of those real complex
the board games. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
And going through the rules and like you're putting all this work into it and setting up 100 pieces. And I think we were finally ready to play. And I'm like, I don't feel like this.
Yeah.
Anymore.
We spent like 2.5 hours.
Son of a bitch. You were so mad at me, but I don't blame you. But yeah, was just I'd hit a certain point, and no matter what we were doing, man, I'm done. My brain is done.
Yeah, I never knew that about that was.
It never dawned on me, and I started kind of thinking back when I was young, and it wasn't a diagnosis when I was young.
Right.
It just wasn't a thing, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember all these instances of, we'd be working at doing adventure or playing D&D or something, and just. I'm done. I still struggle watching a movie and staying focused. So I'm like, oh my God.
That's why we never had more than a couple adventures in any campaign that you've ever done.
Yeah, because I'm
serious. These campaigns have to be short campaigns.
Very short.
We're talking an adventure and a half. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, guys. Last 2 hours. It's a grand finale. What? We just started. Yeah,
dude. I'll be watching a movie and just find I'm missing entire scenes because my brain goes off. So they'll say something and my brain will go off in another direction thinking about something else. And because when I can be creative and focused, that's kind of when I'm at my happiest. When I can stay focused on something and start creating something, feel like I'm getting somewhere with it.
Yeah,
it feels great. I love that, but I just can never stick with it long term.
Yeah.
So that's
sounds like you need some cocaine.
Some coke is going to be the answer.
Well, no, I mean,
hyper creative.
See what the doctor says. You can probably, I've
actually got I'm starting with a new family doctor here next week, as a matter of fact. So, that might be something I'll end up.
Yeah. And the next time my friend makes a run to Loom, if you want some stuff, I'll be happy to.
Well, I'm willing to try it for sure.
Yeah, I think the pen cost me like $750. And these cartridges, which is 1 gram, like $22.50.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
they're
normally
that's
30.
Way cheaper than the ones that the guy I was working with I told you about. I think he was talking like pens were $90 or something.
Oh God,
they used to be.
This was the two. This is an adjustable voltage
number of years ago,
which you really don't need, but it was like $10 more. So I put on the lowest adjustable voltage, and I'm cool. From my friends who know, they said you can turn it up higher. It's an more intense burn, but it doesn't doesn't change the effect. It has a nice taste. You can test the taste of cannabis.
I got to do that.
If I may, you're gonna get the best effect out of the flower, which is the bud, and you can dry vape those. So you don't want if you combust it, it's ash. You can dry vape a bud, however much you put in there, at least 2 or 3 times, I believe, before it's cashed. So
now, how do you do that?
You got to have a dry vape pen. Like it's some kind of contraption that you put, and I'm not sure if it's just a chunk of flour or you got to grind it and put it in there, but you can vape on it longer than if you were to light it on fire and combust it.
There's so much nuance to all
See
this.
that I'd never heard it before. Now that's my next step, because I know flour is the power.
Yeah, and it's
from all my friends who bake, they said you got to get to the flour. I'm like, that's my goal.
And it's
I'm starting slowly though.
Well, that's what we say. Start slow, go low, start slow.
Right. I draw it into my mouth first. I don't breathe it into my lungs first. I draw it into my mouth first, just as much as my mouth can hold. And then I hold it in.
How
for about
much
5 seconds.
can your mouth hold?
I already am.
Go ahead, Mark. Tell them.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
Well, let me show you. But no, I really like it. The effects last. They hit pretty quickly. They're not so crazy. Of course, that's only one hit. I'm not sitting there doing multiple hits, but that's okay. I just want to be able to like chill out, But yeah, I mean, and this was on sale too. That was regular price, Mark. I mean, it was 20%, 25% off. So it was only $22.50 for each of these. So I got 4 big things of gummies, this pen, and 5 of these cartridges for like $186 or something like that. I mean, and again,
so
go to Loom.
Have definitely come down then.
Well, I think some places charge more.
Even in Ohio, they have.
Yeah.
Wow.
But go to Loom. Go to their website. And the one we go to is there's like 20 in Michigan.
So you can so you can order from Michigan and
you can, but they won't mail it here because
because didn't you know that the cannabis is as bad as heroin?
It's the gateway drug.
It is. And that's because the Republicans won't let it
You're
go.
on your way to crackheadedness.
Sherrod Brown is totally for legalizing marijuana, and then Portman was
Ohio's
against it.
just slow to get their shit together.
Yeah,
with this stuff,
I mean, but they're doing medical. It's a start. It's a start.
Yeah, thankfully. Yeah.
But anyway, it still goes on sale regularly. So the next time he goes up, I'll just have him let me know. I'm not sure when.
Okay.
I messaged him to make
I don't think he's going
to show up, and I'm totally cool with having this be out there.
The initial investment is mildly steep. It gets cheaper. Get a
card. $250 to get a card.
It's $250, and then you've got a 6-month appointment, and then it's just down to your annual renewals, and it's once a year, and the price goes down after that year for the office visit because you get charged for the office visit, but also the government wants its money too.
Gotcha.
2 separate things, but
and the insurance won't cover it.
But here's the one good thing about having a medical card. Mm-hmm. Is that there are reciprocatory states, Michigan being one of them. And what that does is when you walk into a dispensary in Michigan, it chops the sin tax off because if there's a sin tax
that
on
would
the
be
rec
worth
side,
the trip then.
Absolutely. There's a sin tax and a state tax. And
the sin tax is 10%. 10%.
Yeah.
Ohio's so stupid,
Yeah. All the money could be made.
All the money they're missing out on.
If you have a medical card, you can assign someone to be your guardian. And they legally caregiver. That's it, and can go in and buy for you.
Yes. It's an additional $25.
Whoops. Okay.
Yeah, but see, as and that's something I would be if you want to drive up sometime, Mark.
We've talked about that before and just have never pulled the trigger. Yeah. Get a little extra money at some point.
Vic, you want to come with us, man?
Maybe like income tax time would be a good time.
I just go to Rise in Lorain.
How much the cartridge is there?
So because Michigan's a full rec state, and the same thing with Nevada. So when I went to Nevada, I went to the Rise out there because I'm familiar with Rise products. They carry all the same products. So when I went to Las Vegas, I was like, there's a Rise out here. I'm going to go to that one because I know and trust the products that they carry because that's what I'm used to here. So I went out there and it's cheaper in full rec states, 100%.
Yes. Right.
But the price has come down because in Ohio, they're allowing so many more dispensaries for medical.
Right.
And it has driven the price down. So you paid $22.50 for the cartridge. Like this pen was $25 or $30 because I also bought it on sale. So it was like, I think regularly they're like $30 or $40. That's the difference. So I mean, it's
this was 15.
It's comparable when there's sales, but when there's not sales, it can be a little on the steep side.
Well, also, if you have a medical card, they also have a 10% automatically off of your bill.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
And
I didn't know that.
The Lumen when they go to Michigan, and then there are certain days where you can get like an extra 20% on top of that. So if you go on those, it's probably during the weekdays. I'm gonna guess they're not gonna do it on Saturday where everyone's home. And they're also legal. You could have it. She could have it with her on her at any time and be legal.
Well,
that's the thing.
Again, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. I've told people that. I'm like, nope, they're not. They're not like waiting for you to leave the dispensary. They have got bigger fish to fry. They don't care.
Yeah.
They know what's going on here. So, but the thing about it is, like, you can legally go in and shop. Now, here's the thing. I don't know about other dispensaries because I've only been to Rise because it's in Lorain. That's where I'm going to go. So there's no showroom, I believe, in this state. I don't think there's showrooms in this state because it's medicinal only. So you got to go to the website and kind of peruse what they've got, unless you just want to ask what is lovingly referred to as a bud tender. Those individuals, they'll bring stuff out for you to look at. They'll tell you their experiences with it. They'll tell you, you know, if you walk in and you say, hey, I'm here because I can't sleep, they're going to give you, here's the list of things.
A lot of indica.
So yeah, so it's like, you know, it's good to go in and but there's no, like, whereas in Lume, like in Michigan, you get to look, you kind of get an idea what the product looks
Right.
like. You don't know, you know, specifically what you're going to get, but you can kind of
No, but they have the bud there, the flower there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
And
you
there's a
look at
brand of the
stuff,
cartridge
you know.
that if you're having a problem sleeping, it's called Sleepy Time.
Cool.
So that's one. Yeah, that's why
Just
I
get
like it. You can look up by the effect. It's really awesome.
just get some Northern Lights. You're good to go.
There's so many lines and brands out there. There's a place in Virginia that sells seeds. They must have 60 kinds of cannabis that you can, like,
Yeah.
get seeds from.
That's
And
a little overwhelming.
Right. And
Right.
but they break it down to the effects, you know, and that's the whole goal for me is like, okay, now I can start like cross-pollinating
also,
and start making my own hybrid.
Keep in mind too that, like, when you harvest the flower, you can harvest it early, it'll taste better, but it'll have less THC. If you harvest it late, taste goes away, THC skyrockets. So, you know,
Gotta hit that sweet.
they can't give you, they're not going to give you a guarantee, you know, they're going to give you kind of the idea what to do, but there's, again, that's a learning experience, just like all of this shit is, you know.
But I'm totally happy with these products and the cartridges.
absolutely.
You know, there's no coughing. It's good. You can taste the pot. It's just,
Maybe we got our
it's
first
just
sponsor.
resonance. Yeah, that'd be awesome, wouldn't
Our
it?
first sponsor.
If you guys want to go up sometime, it's
Yeah,
just up to Michigan and back. You know, we could just get
Sure.
up there, go do it,
Totally.
go get a bite and come back home and just make a Saturday of it.
Right. Yeah, we need to do that.
You know? Yeah. So, I mean, I got a ton of stuff. Like, I'm good for a long time. Like,
Yeah,
each of
you
these-
look set.
Yeah, I know. Like, well, each of these little
Fist
cartridges.
full of cartridges. Like, I got all these.
Well,
It's gonna be like
this-
your cigars. You're gonna end up with a giant tote just full of
Yeah.
weed products, man.
Nice, right?
You know, you
Well, each
never
of these-
half-ass anything.
No. Well, I figured I wasn't sure how often I would get stuff, you know, because he's
Sure.
going up there and I'm like, well, I might as well just get it because it was on sale. I'm like, well, what the hell, you know?
You're a working man.
I know. But each of these, like 1 gram.
Like the Rush song.
cartridges, Yeah. We'll give about maybe up to 300 hits. And that's a lot because I only do
That
one.
is.
You know, it's like, this is
Right.
going to last me a while.
No, I'm happy you're happy with Lume because
Yeah.
when I went up the first time, I didn't know Michigan was a reciprocatory state, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna walk in and just wreck side. That was before I learned that it, like, saves you a shitload of money to take your card with you. That's why I went to Vegas with my card. I was like, I'm not making that mistake again. So this product in Vegas, like, this was about $40 here, and it's 10 servings, and these are 1-to-1. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And
You're paying Vegas prices.
so no, though, this was like $40 here. There it was.
Oh,
like,
really?
It was like, I don't know, it might have been $20, 17.
Because
Wow.
Same product.
these were
You guys just snatching packages out of
20 a pop.
Yeah.
And then my other ones, the same thing, you know, the
Yeah.
20. Now these, fuck, the last time I took one, this is the one that knocked me on my ass for 9 hours. I just don't remember which one it was. But I'm just gonna start cutting them in half. You know.
You got couch lock? Did you get couch lock?
No, I was just like fucked up all day, man. I'm like, I couldn't do anything. I'm like, I can't drive. I was still using my scooter a lot. So I'm like feeling like, fuck, I'm gonna run the things, you know. Yeah, it was like I go to the bathroom and stand there and pee. I'm like, I realize, oh, I'm peeing.
I've been in here for 15
How
minutes.
long have I been here? Yeah, I didn't know. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm
Piss
still
all
peeing.
over
My
the
God,
floor.
how long have I been peeing? Oh,
when did it
What?
get dark out?
what am I? Where am I? Yeah, it was just all that. Yeah, it was just like,
Love
Yeah,
it.
that's not good.
Love it.
no, it was just unpleasant. It was like, wait a minute, it's not even. And there was one time because we were playing Jackbox games that I had took one of those, and I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, it's in 3D now. That's awesome. You know, it's like, and I'm like, right in the middle of the game, we were designing T-shirts, and I'm like, blank screen. I'm like, I had one of those like time slips. Where I'm like, okay, what am I doing? Why am I here with my phone? Like, I know I'm supposed to draw something. I'm like, I see this timer, like, oh fuck, I'm playing a game.
Is that when you just did penises every time?
No. And eventually,
like, oh no, I can't.
It always comes. That's all I can draw. You know. Next time I'll draw some boobs or something. No, I just can't draw. So yeah, I had to draw something real quick. I'm like, fuck, because I had just forgotten where I was. See, that's too much. That's way too much. You know, I'd rather just be kind of relaxed.
Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that's all right.
Not for 9 hours. It's not. It's like the cheapest fucking high you're gonna want. But I'm shocked that Dreadbull didn't get more. Go ahead. Sorry, man.
No, absolutely nothing.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna say, like, no, sometimes.
Yeah, you cut those into like quarters for me. And you're like, just take like a quarter of this. No. Maybe half.
No, those were like whole pieces. Well, I did.
But you gave me some that you cut up.
I did cut in half because I thought 5 milligrams start you with 5 because they were strong for me. You took like 5 at a time. You took like 25 milligrams.
I did end up taking almost all of them.
I'm like, I thought for sure you were gonna die, man. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I took one. I waited a while. Like, it's nothing. Popped the other half. Nothing. I'm like, I'm gonna take a whole one now. Follow up with a whole one. Nah, just nothing. The whole. I don't know. I'm weeding you.
A couple duds.
That's crazy.
Maybe some duds.
I don't know, but they were knocking me on my ass. I don't know. So I thought, well, yeah.
That is weird, man. Because you're usually like with alcohol, you got a higher threshold than I do when it comes to like alcohol, I think, or at least somewhat similar.
Yeah, but, right. Yeah.
Maybe it's just because you were drinking Boone's Farm all the time back then.
Well, Boone's Farm, we did drink, not all the time, but yeah, that was the wine of choice because it was $2.
Strawberry Hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wild Mountain or Wild.
But fuck that, Mad Dog 2020's king, Blackie Lawless Wasp.
I don't think I know I've had Mad Dog. I don't know.
You've had that. You've had
in college
Rose.
That one I don't think so, but I've had the Mad Dog. It was
the same, party, just different. They're all the same.
Different bottle. Yeah,
different.
But Boone's Farm used to be our go-to for the pigs, like before show.
Yeah,
that was how we got ready. We didn't have it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we were always getting shots and shit from the bartender and people were buying us rounds. As we were there, the people there would see us. I'm thinking I'd much rather have a glass of beer than a shot of something that looks like Drano.
Now I'm interested.
It was a bluish white liquid that I thought was like
Tide Pod shot. Yeah,
that I thought seriously that I thought was like Downy. It was that kind of color. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Guys, it's just drink it. I'm like, all right, I'm like,
right, that's the correct answer. Okay.
Yeah. And then there was one where he made cherries bombs. It was just 151 with maraschino cherries, and I didn't know what it was.
And
I done it, and I felt like the walls closed. I'm like, oh fuck, that was not good. I'm like the tunnel vision. I'm like
151 maraschino cherries and acid.
No, never did anything like that. No, I mean, it was only a couple years ago when I first started taking these edibles that I'd never done pot, never smoked pot, never done any kind of drugs.
Never done the pot.
I'd never done the pot with the kids, as the kids would say. No, I remember getting back surgery and I had Demerol, and I thought, oh fuck, I can see why people get addicted, man. I had never felt as good in my life. I'm like, because the nurses came in like, you ready for your surgery? What's it going to be on? I said, oh, it's my back. I said, but you can take my legs. I don't need them right now. I'm like,
dude, you can't hardly get pain meds anymore. Like they do not give that stuff.
Well, maybe not. But the first time I went to go see my nurse practitioner, I'm so thankful. Maybe it was a test, but I'm thankful that I don't see her anymore. I'm there. I told her about all my list of things. Like I haven't been to a doctor in about 8 years. So here's the problem. Here's what's going on, and she's just writing everything down. And she's like, do you want anything for pain? Do you want some like Vicodin or something like that? I'm like,
oh wow, just that easy?
Yeah. And I'm like,
what?
No, I don't. And I've wondered, maybe she, because I was a first patient, maybe she was giving me a test.
Oh my
God. But I think she was like ready to write some fucking prescriptions. I'm like, Jesus, no, I'm good, man. I just want to start dealing with my really real ailments with like real doctor stuff and not just throw killers out. But that was crazy. So
yeah, they are very loath to give that stuff out anymore.
Well, Yeah, this was still
And
during
it
the
became a
opioid
huge problem.
crisis, man. It was still,
Yeah.
right. We were in the heart. We were in the throes of it. So yeah, she was willing to just throw some stuff my way.
Damn, she's gonna hook you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want some heroin?
Yeah.
I'm
So,
gonna
Vic,
write
how
out
long
a
you been
script for
smoking?
that. No, I mean, I'm not big, and even now, even though like I'm just, it's once in a while, it's
Mhm.
fun here and there. Back in the day, it was once in a while. I had a couple brushes with what was sativas, a couple like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Where am I right now? And way longer than it, like it got in my head. Like they were real intense highs. They were very heady, and the both of them were just got straight in my head. Like the one time we're sitting there, me and my brother cash a bowl, and I'm smoking it like I've been smoking it my whole fucking life. Like I'm holding it for like way too long, hacking when I'm done. We get done with that, and we had a buddy with us, and he was like, we're like, let's go get some food. And I'm like, let's go to
munchies.
Yeah, let's go to Taco Bell. And they're like, no,
course, Taco Bell.
Let's go get some Chinese. And I'm like, okay. So we go down to Pine Garden. That was a bad move, man.
Oh, did you throw up?
Our sober buddy's like, if you do anything stupid, I'm leaving your asses here. Cause me and Jesse were fucking crazy high right now. And we walk in and we instantly start giggling and being stupid, and we're all, and we order our food. This is the best part. We order our food. Our food is being placed in front of us, man. And I fucking grayed out. I almost passed out. Like right before you pass out, your eyes kind of like, you get distorted and you can't see. And I was going, and I broke out in a sweat. And I tell Jesse and I tell our buddy, we got to leave now. And they're both like, the fuck we do? We just got our food. And I'm like, put mine in a box. I'm going outside. And I sat out there until they were done. And we went home. I was fucked. The next time it got to me, we go camping. Me and a friend of mine go camping. And we walk, it's not very far, maybe a quarter of a mile to where we're actually camping. And it's on this property where there's like some old timey buildings. There's like a barn. There's like a stockade. There's, it looks like a frontier front. And I know it's like a privately owned property, and sometimes they do stuff there. There's like a wigwam on the property and a teepee and shit. So we're going to camp out, and we go to the furthest end of the property, which there's a pond and whatever. So we sit our stuff down with that first load, because it was a couple loads, got coolers full of beer and shit, so we got to go back and get stuff. So one of the things I had brought up had dude's pipe and dude's flower in it. And he's like, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. So he puts in a little bit. He puts in one hit according to him. And of course I'm, fucking sucking in. I'm like a black hole, and I hold it for way too long. Again, like I'm some kind of regular cannabis smoking champion, let it out. And we start walking back. And because he was impressed, he was like, wow, you cashed this. I gave you a hit, but I didn't think you'd do it in one hit. I thought it would be, smoke on it for a second. And so we're walking back to the van, and about halfway there, things start happening. I start moving real slow. I start thinking real dumb thoughts. Like the first thing that came to my head, and then I'm blurting it out. I'm just saying the first thing that comes to my head. So the first thing that came to my head was grapes. Don't know why, but I say that. And then I start laughing because I'm like, how stupid are you? You just said grapes for no reason. By the time we get back to my van, which is literally, I don't know, 3 minutes after, I'm sweating and I'm like, dude. And I ask him this is an honest to God thing. I ask him, I say, how long have we been here? And that was just the end of it for the rest of the night. Things are super fucked up. I try to set up my tent. You should have seen me trying to set up my tent.
Okay.
Rods sticking out of places they shouldn't be. And it's upside down. At one point, the whole tent was upside down. I don't know why. It wasn't fully put together. And my buddy's got like this massive mansion tent. And he says, you want to just sleep in here, man? I'm like, yeah. And just the rest of the night was, and then finally, and dude, I know that highs only last a couple hours. I know that. I've been trained on that, but it seemed like forever. So by 10 o'clock at night, he was like, dude, you want a beer? I'm like, no, I'll puke. because that's what happens if I smoke too much and I drink too much. You know, cannabis accentuates things, so it's easy to be like, oh, I've drank. You're hammered before you start smoking. Bad things can happen, you know. So I tell him no, because I'm gonna puke, and I just stay in this really intense headspace freakishly well after the high's done. He probably knows and just isn't saying anything. 10 o'clock at night, I crack a Pabst and I'm like, I think I'm out of the woods. Dude, I could hear like the sound the whole time. The place it wasn't like in the woods, but it was surrounded by a small layer of woods, which was essentially surrounded by fields. There was something like cutting grain or hay. You could hear that sound. And it would like come in waves. And I was like, and then there was some other sound. It sounded like somebody tuning like not a guitar, but like tuning up a metal wire till it would get real high. It'd be like, ding, 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 ding. I don't know if it had to be something from whatever.
Another dimension.
Or that. I assumed it, you know, it was probably something from the guy farming, whatever he was farming, harvesting. But I mean, it also, I don't know where I was. At one point, I thought there was a cliff on the side of the property where there was a cornfield that you could look and see there was clearly a cornfield there. It was weird. And I know damn well what that was, as that fucking sativa just in my brain, making me way too intense.
It was the clockwork of the universe.
The hybrid's probably a better choice for you then. You know, you get a little bit.
I enjoy, indicas, and I mean, but that's the thing though. It actually doesn't matter. There are indica strains that can trigger anxiety, paranoia. There's sativa strains that aren't as heady as others, you know. So I have a sativa pen that I didn't, you know, I'm very open-minded about it. So I have a sativa pen that I was like, okay, be careful. And then, you know, I'm fooling around and I'm just like, dude, this isn't doing shit. Because the first time I smoked my true hybrid pen, I don't know what way it leans, but I went to another planet that day, man. I was so messed up that at one point my sister was over and she was talking to my wife. And my wife leaves the room and I'm in there and I had just gotten some Volcana test presses and I'm like looking at them, really looking at them, like seeing like, are these numbers different? Like if there's cereal on them or whatever.
Right.
And I hear a sound and finally like, oh, it's my sister. And I looked behind me. I said, are you talking to me? And she said, yeah, I've been talking to you for the last 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, sorry. I didn't hear anything you said. Not a single word. And I wasn't being a dick. I genuinely did not hear her for at least, well, it probably wasn't 10 minutes in reality, but I didn't hear her for 90% of whatever conversation she had with me. I don't know what she was talking to me about. And I was like, because I was so focused on those. And that was a fun time, man. Like the first thing I saw, I walk into my living room, because that was like one of my first dabs in vapes. And I hit it. Just a 1 second hit, held it for a second, exhaled, gave it a few minutes. And I'm like, I don't think I got anything. You know, I don't think anything happened. So hit it again, like in under 5 minutes, hit it again. Same thing. Second time I coughed and I said, uh-oh. I capped it up and I said, I'm probably good. And I walked upstairs and things started slowing down and being silly. And when I get in my living room, I don't know who the fuck's watching this show, but it's one of those. My dad used to do this in the 80s where you flip your head upside down and you draw eyes on your chin and a mustache and shit. And then you like put something over your nose and it looks like a person. Yeah. That's on the screen. That's the first thing I see when I have traveled to Saturn, when I've entered the multiverse, and that's the first fucking thing I see. And I'm like, this is going to either be really bad or really silly. Thankfully, it turned out to be really silly. I remember laying down on my bed at one point going, this is fucking nice, man. Like touching it and being like, this is great. And just everything was fucking funny. It was fun as fuck. It was a very pleasant experience, because if it goes downhill, you know, you're getting sweaty and you're freaking out, but there's ways out of that too, man. If you ever find yourself in a where you feel uncomfortable, training lesson, chew a whole peppercorn, put it in your mouth, chew on it, sip water, sip it. Don't chug it, just sip it. Focus on your breathing. Obviously watch like very easy comedies, get outside, you know, be in nature. These sound stupid as fuck, but they are what we teach everyone. Also, another, good way to do it, up your CBD. So you try a sativa and you're like, fucking, you're in that one multiverse where everybody's paint. Up your CBD. Tincture, gummies don't matter. Just straight CBD, not like not 1-to-1. Just find yourself good CBD products, not the gas station shit. That shit's all fake. Go to a legit place. Like the CBD we have is legit, but up it. Consume CBD because that will negate that like harshness from that high.
That's good to know.
Now you know. Give it a shot. See if it works for you. You know.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy the experience because it's not crazy, and you could really. I mean, I definitely feel a lot more focused than a week alert for a couple hours. Nice. You know, only lasts a couple hours. That's right. The thing. You know, it's not. And so this is just my first steps in experimenting. So I'm open to it all. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
absolutely. You got to get some of those. You got to get some of those like those water drops they got. It's just straight THC. It's not. It's stripped of terpenes. It doesn't lean one way or the other. You can put it in your water and just sip on it all day. And yep, it's like those. I think miso or whatever, like the flavored. It's like those.
How much would one drop?
I don't know because I've never tried it. I wanted to. The last time I was thinking about getting it, there was a big sale on something, and I was like, "Well, sorry, I'm getting this stuff instead." So, but it's on my list. You know, some of the stuff that's stripped of terpenes and doesn't have like any strain characteristics, they can be kind of weird. You know, it can be odd. But I've had luck with the edibles.
But, the edibles are good. I know now to chop these new ones in half. And then the ones I got that were like, this one is the edible of the Focus. It's only 5%. You know, instead of 10 like a normal one.
Yeah, so it's basically like chopped in half.
Yeah, exactly. So that's and the price on these was really cheap.
Yeah, the Loom edibles were fairly priced. Because I got some of those when I went up to the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
Got that at a chocolate bar. That chocolate bar was great.
Yeah, and they're good sized gummies.
Yeah.
You know? And I think I got 20 in here for like $12.50 or something.
Yes. That sounds
crazy.
Right.
Yeah. And so I remember when we talked to Eric Wagner, this is what he said. He started the day with 5 milligrams. And it was good. Just kind of just get things going.
Yeah.
So
right.
I like the Focus so far. I really do. So, you know, and this unwind is, which that's what I've been hitting on. That's also very nice. On the opposite end.
It would appear that way.
Yeah, feels pretty good.
You know, I wouldn't
have done that had I thought the guest would have shown up. I have my Focus ready to go, and I would have gone without. No, but part of this is for the neuropathy, the CBD, because these are both high CBD content.
Yeah.
Sprays, and like I've needed that boost today. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm not really mad that he didn't show because I'm freaking tired as hell, man. Work is kicking my ass. We're on full overtime, 9-10 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we had to
go from nothing to
over last night. Yeah, so yeah, they didn't leave till like 2:30. So yeah, I'm just wiped out. So honestly, this is okay. I was a little worried how engaged I would be with the interview. I was feeling okay though.
So. Are you ready for tonight? Do you have your Slugfest ready to go?
Yeah, I got all my notes here. I didn't get them. They're all on my phone because I did it while I was at work. So I didn't get a chance to write them up properly, but I got everything here. So I am ready. Yeah, I did all my homework.
We're for a Slugfest tonight.
It's gonna be very snarky.
Yeah, we're doing.
I hope Joe shows up. So
yeah, well, he said he'd be there for 7.
Okay,
so
cool.
We're doing 2 Black Sabbath albums. We're doing Born Again and Seventh Star.
Man, I have never heard Seventh Star because Born Again, man, I can't stand that record. I listened to it. I love the cover. I think it's
the cover is one of the best ever.
It's fantastic.
It is good.
But like, yeah, I listened to it and I'm like, I mean, I kept it, but I was just like, I don't know, man, this is kind of bad.
The guitar sound, well, I'm blowing my wad for tonight, but that's okay. We can always
that's okay. Yeah, scrap it.
Yeah, screw it.
I recently bought an Ian Gillan record though, because I was like, the artwork was fantastic, and I was like, nah, I'm getting this. I it's probably gonna be better than Born Again. So because that's Ian Gillan, right?
Ian Gillan, right?
Yeah.
But if you listen, you've listened to it, I mean, his voice is crazy good. You know, and I'll say this in the show. One thing about both of these albums they have in common, because I really don't like Seventh Star, but I think that was originally a Tony Iommi a solo project, and the company made him put Black Sabbath on it because
Yeah.
of
Yeah, it even
himself.
says Black Sabbath
featuring Tony Iommi.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of silly, but anyway, but neither of them sound like Black Sabbath albums. That's the thing.
Well,
That
yeah,
was
I
my
get
problem
that.
with it.
Yeah,
I
I know
get
who
that, but-
Slugfest is going to win, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it because there are tracks on both albums I think are good tracks.
Seventh
They're-
Star is Glenn Hughes.
Oh, Glenn Hughes.
Vocals.
See, that's what I thought. I didn't think that. I didn't
yeah.
think that was.
I know Tony
Martin.
Martin was singing
Every-
in that era too.
You know, I'm glad you
Everything-
mentioned that because I assumed these were both both Ian Gillan.
Yeah, no.
No.
Tony
Glenn-
Martin.
Glenn
Tony Martin
Hughes-
stuff
That
is
would have been a major
fucking
faux pas.
fantastic, man. Headless Cross,
It's
Tier
just-
or TYR, however you say it.
Yeah, I don't
and-
like those albums. Are just
Fucking
I had to
love
listen to them
those
again,
records, man.
but again, it's not Black Sabbath sound. to me, you know,
Cross
that's the-
Purposes. Shit, I think he was on.
There's no
he might have been on
doomness to
something
them.
else.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not early Sabbath, but it's still Sabbath. It's Mob Rules wasn't Doom at all, like, and they didn't even Doom wasn't even a thing. Keep in mind that Doom wasn't a thing when they made that sound.
Yeah.
It became a thing
Right.
post Sabbath just was a metal band. I mean, they were a rock band, they started a rock band and
Blues,
they progressed
bluesy rock.
into-
Yeah.
they progressed into what was defined as metal, and then after, like, in the 90s, the doom metal became a subgenre as opposed to, like, Sabbath didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So I mean, I get it too, the drugs versus less drugs and et cetera, but I don't know. Sabbath is a unique career where they were just being true to themselves. I question Judas Priest, and people throw bands under the bus because they're like, they changed. They didn't well, yeah, fucking everybody loves Judas Priest, and like every fucking record was different. And especially in the 80s, dude, they made a lot of shifts to bring in cash, a lot of clear cash.
Turbo.
Yeah, Turbo, prime example. Not to say that those records aren't fucking awesome. I'm just saying, don't tell somebody they're a sellout because they changed their sound. They're just growing as artists, or they are clearly money grabbing.
Exactly. There is a difference.
There's a fair money grab, and fuck you, Tom Warrior, if you're watching or if this ever makes it live. But the guy tries to deny Cold Lake, Celtic Frost, however you fucking say it. They have an album called Cold Lake. It's fucking great. He fucking hates it, and it's because it's their hair metal record. It's like Celtic Frost doing they all had super teased hair and like crotches out, really silly outfits. You gotta look up the band photo for Cold Lake. It's silly, but the album's actually pretty fucking good. But he's like, oh, the label made us do that. No, the label didn't make you do shit. You could have just been like, we're not doing that. Drop us. He likes to play like he's some like hardcore, like I'm in it for the art and not for the cash. When he goes and he plays fucking Celtic Frost songs live and gets paid a shitload of fucking money to do so, he's very, 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 very arrogant. And I don't know. I've had interactions with him where it's just like, he didn't like necessarily put me down, but he's like, blah, blah, blah. He puts down everybody who calls him out for like taking money. Who fucking cares if you're getting paid for what you made?
This is your job. You should get paid.
Yeah, he's like a super artsy fartsy guy, and H.R. Geiger loved him. So I don't know, but yeah, Cold Lake, man, clear money grab move. Like that's what it was, and it's a good record. It's a good record. They're a band that can be difficult to get into over the eras, man. I like the early stuff more than anything, but like, and when I say early stuff, I mean like Morbid Tales and shit like that. Like
their last album was really good that they put out.
Yeah, I think he hates that one too.
That's really good, really, really dark. And
don't tell him that.
If he ever comes on, it depends on how high.
They never will. He's so anti everything.
Oh, that's fine. I would invite him. Who did Glenn Hughes used to sing for?
That one's drawn a blank for me.
Red Bull pulled it up. You can.
Let me look him up here. Deep Purple.
Okay.
Okay. Purple. Well, that's funny. They both sang for Deep Purple because Ian
almost
Gillan
made some Deep Purple.
Ian Gillan was mocked too. Oh, definitely some song. There's some songs that sound like Deep Purple, and there's one that sounds like Judas Priest. And I didn't realize how much there's a song that Judas Priest does that Motley Crue completely ripped off to make for Knock 'Em Dead Kid, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait a minute, that's the same riff you guys did like 10 years before that. Interesting.
Yeah,
5 years anyway.
I've got comments about that exact thing, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, Glenn Hughes. I think was he the original singer for Purple, and then Mach 2 version 2. That's when Ian Gillan came in. That was my favorite era, or was that I got it backwards? Because Ian Gillan sang on House of Blue Light, Perfect Strangers, and House of Blue Light. That was like I think the Mach 2 version. I think that was Ian Gillan. That's my favorite era. Machine Head and all those.
Right. Deep Purple had a lot of really good songs.
Oh yeah, they really the good band.
Excellent group. But the early stuff where Richie Blackmore went and did his thing, and like that, like those. There's some really good. Honestly, I think that my favorite era is the Coverdale eras. I mean,
of
fucking
Deep,
hell, yeah.
Of Deep Purple.
Yeah.
When did he sing for Deep Purple?
He sang on Burn, and is it called Fireball? I think.
Burn, like the song Burn.
Stormbringer, maybe.
Stormbringer. Really? He sang on that album?
Yeah, he sang on 3 records.
I think it was,
he sang on
on
Burn. He sang on the one with the comets on the front, where that was their heads. And I can't remember what it's called. And he sang on Stormbringer. Dude, though that era. I mean, because David Coverdale, man, fucking great vocalist, right?
He is. I wasn't a crazy fan
Burn,
of Whitesnake,
I love Burn, man. It's such a good record. But Stormbringer, I don't know. Those records are.
Now I'm hearing Burn in my head because I'm going through the courses, the verses.
Who was on Come Taste the Band?
I can hear it now.
Who was on Come Taste the Band? Was it Coverdale?
Who
was on that one? He was on.
You're asking the wrong savant.
Yeah, this is Joe's category.
And Dreadpool's he's the Oracle. He's got his computer right there, but I don't remember. You know way more than I do there. Wild card.
Where the fuck is my Wikipedia app? There we go. Let me look him up.
Yeah, I didn't know. See, I just thought I knew Glenn Hughes once I heard the name again, and then Ian Gillan, but I didn't know that Coverdale sang for him. That's crazy.
Yes. And what a fantastic.
Well, Burn's a great song. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked Deep Purple, and I grew up listening to them. So just in that era, we hear all the classic Smoke on the Water and all those other songs kind of usher us into this other, to these groups. Well, this is going to be a pretty good episode anyway.
What the fuck? Where's the...
While waiting for Conan.
Weed talk.
Yeah. Weed talk and waiting.
Cannabis conversations.
Yeah.
Find the fucking...
We don't have too many, open days left, wild card, this year. If Conan wants to reschedule, I mean,
I'm going to have him get a hold of you. If he wants to come back on, I'm just going to have him reach out to. Yeah, David Coverdale on Come Taste the Band as well. So he was on several records with him. But anyways, back to, I'm just going to have him reach out to you because.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, we've only got a couple things in November and December.
Yeah, I don't know what he actually does for a job. It sounds like maybe he gets called in at random times or he works late for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
If he wants to come on, I'm going to have him reach out to you. So
that's cool. It'd be nice to, to interview him. It'd be cool. I like his music.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
right. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Very technical. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But, I mean, we're at almost an hour. But this has been enjoyable, gentlemen. Although,
right on.
Yeah, disappointing that we didn't get to do the interview, but that's okay. I was nice to talk with you about some weed and
always nice to catch up.
Yeah, do a little baking. Yeah, we have to do that, like just outside of the show. Just like I know you're crazy busy, but sometime, I told the guys, and like after our last interview in November, I think it's gonna be Nikki Law. After that, we're just taking some time off. I'm really, really burned out. I just don't have the energy, and I'm like all this editing and all that stuff. It takes a lot of time, as you know.
Right.
So yeah, I just want to take some time out. I'm ready for a rest.
Yep, that's understandable.
But absolutely. We'll have that time off. Maybe like over the holidays, we can get together and just chill the fuck out.
That'd be
fun.
Right.
Just have a couple beers and just hang out. Well, I can't drink anymore, but maybe I can have one beer.
I can. I'll drink in front of you.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. I'll get high in front of you, so we're all good.
Okay, great.
I'm doing
Yeah.
both in front of both of you. So
There we go. There's the hybrid for you.
Multitasker over here.
Right.
well, man, I'm gonna go cook.
Me too.
Okay.
You guys
Well, gentlemen,
have a-
thanks for showing up.
Yeah,
And,
no worries.
have
Sorry,
Conan
we
get a
got
hold of me.
dumped on again. Yeah, I'll have. a
No, it's
message
cool.
you.
This is an episode. I'm
Happens
releasing
every
as
so
is.
often.
I'll just snip out personal stuff, but
That's
I'm
cool.
releasing the episode. While waiting for Conan, it just weed talking, waiting.
Getting
All right.
silly,
Not-
waiting for
That's what
Conan.
I'm-
Not
That's what
that
I'm
anybody
calling it.
wants to hear us sit here and banter, but whatever. I mean,
I don't know. People like it.
We're setting the pace for the future.
I don't know what people. Okay.
We got well
Just
over
banter
100,
episodes.
well over 100 subscribers now. So
Yeah.
you know.
I noticed a couple of the episodes, like a couple surprising ones, gotten like 1,200 views, like on YouTube.
Oh really?
Yeah. Maybe I think Nibs
Well, I
was
know-
one.
Oh really? Doug. I know Doug was our first. one.
Helvering
Helvering
Doug
awesome.
was the other one.
Yeah,
that
he was the
like
first
over
one.
1,200
Nice.
views.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. That's by far some of our largest. Yeah, him and I think Nibs.
Oh, that's cool, man.
The first Nibs interview, I think, got a lot of views.
Yeah, no, he was great. He was great.
This is Doug Helvering, and you have been listening to Heavy Metal Horror, the best podcast that you've never heard before.